through all of this. So she goes by that act. She doesn't wake up on a Tuesday morning and say, I'm feeling like perhaps you guys should just give me your receipts without invoices. No. You give her everything. They look through it all. And then she says, okay, thank you very much, Tarakanifi. I am happy. We can go ahead. Or actually, no, Bomet, you have certain documentation that is not here. Please give us so that we can continue and finalize on this audit. Now, unfortunately, time after time, audits have revealed discrepancies in the amounts of money that have been used, unaccounted for, have been released without proper documentation, or have not adhered to the PFM Act. So what does she do? She says, Pongpo, excuse me, you people have not done what you said you would do. So then we give it a fancy name called a query. With the query now, it comes back to you, and then you are able to say, okay, actually, you're right. These receipts were actually in this folder I forgot to attach. So you attach, and then it ceases to be a query. But in the event that you don't do what they've asked, and they give you some time, she now says, CEO, Baringo did not do what they're supposed to do. So as far as we are concerned, there is a discrepancy to the amount of 5 billion shillings. So if there's a discrepancy, we assume that either this money was spent. Is there a word like improperly? This money was not spent
misappropriated.
Thank you.
Misappropriated.
I knew there had to be a fancy word for it. This money was misappropriated, or it was mismanaged, and there's a big hole in this budget. She has been citing those for the last few months. There is no report that has come from the desk of the Auditor General that has not had a discrepancy in money management, spending, receipting. And I just want to give you a little bit of that so that you can understand where we are coming from. This is just from the financial year 2022-2023 to 2023-2024. We also know that the reporting cycle for 2024-2025 is ongoing. So she's still working on that. Let's look at some things and the amounts of money that we're talking about. Shall we? Unapproved and irregular share purchases. We start off with 6.19 billion shillings when she talks about the acquisition of shares in Telkom Kenya, which was okay under Article 223 of the Constitution, but it did not get the necessary approvals in order to secure this sale. Do you understand?
Yes.
So selling was not the problem, but you needed certain approvals in order to do so. Why didn't you do that? And in the event that you didn't do that, we now see that 6.19 billion shillings there's a question around it. So we do what with that 6.9 shillings? We put it in the basket. We've got 6.19 billion. All right? Let's just call it 6 billion shillings. A bigger number that we're looking at now, 2023-2024, the irregular unrecoverable loans, one of the biggest ones, went to Kenya Airways. 55,374,969,787 shillings is what they say. Okay, this money was given to KQ by government, and we're not quite sure what has happened as a result of that. 55 billion shillings, all right? And KQ had come back to government a year after that and said, kindly, please, we need some more money because we've not quite been able to get things right. 55 billion, Niko happy? Well, you know, okay, 55 billion in the basket. We are now where? 55 plus 6 is 61. We are now 61 billion shillings in the basket. Shall we continue? E-Citizen, this is one of the biggest reports one of the biggest items on the report that she brought out. Out of 100 million 842 out of 842,646 586 that was collected. This money was collected 100 billion. 44 billion 816,483,723 shillings could not be accounted for. Yani, we know this 100 was collected. You pay 50, you pay 50, you pay this, you pay this, services everywhere inside. Money was collected. That one they can see in the books. Where 44 billion went, they cannot see where it went. So many things could have happened. It was not accounted for. It is not in the account. There are no receipts. But that money is what? Is missing.
You know what 44 billion is? 6 billion shy of half the total amount that was collected. Just
Exactly.
So you know.
Exactly. Almost 50% of the money that was collected via the e-citizen platform. Okay. We're continuing. So, this 104 of this money, 144 million is missing across certain ministries, departments via e-citizen. Guess which one of the biggest ones is? Lands. You can ask yourself why. The receipts are untraceable. Yani, they are lost. The people who, for there was a sale or there was something made, they cannot find the receipts. I don't know, but is it still the practice? Like in an organization, when you go on a trip, they give you per diem or something to pay for your hotel. If you come back and you don't have the receipt, they'll tell you that they're going to deduct that money from your salary.
Exactly.
Yes.
Abi? Okay. Now, this money, they cannot find it.
Because they can't find receipts.
Yeah. They've not been able to find the receipts. Now, if you go to the nitty-gritty of the Auditor General's report, she will show you a requested receipt, untraceable, unavailable, and there is an explanation on each and every. So she's very thorough in the work that she does.
You know, you go to a supermarket and you buy items and you come out, you receipt at usomangi, unakunja, unatupa kwa dustbin. That's what they did. So, hakuna receipt. Though money was spent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sawa. Okay. Shall
Let's
I continue? Okay.
Yes.
Now, so the receipts are untraceable. Cannot find them anywhere. Yeah. Now, there is 304 billion shillings. This is money that has been undrawn. Now, you might wonder, so why is it a problem if it's still there? Okay. This money has come in from foreign aid investors, 304 billion shillings.
Let's say FDI.
Bas, thank you very much. Now, on this money that has been undrawn, yani you've not found a place to put it just yet, okay?
Just chilling.
It's just chilling in the account. On this money, they have paid, there's a bill because there's a commitment fee on undrawn money from foreign lenders. If you don't use that money, you have committed that you're going to use it for 1, 2, 3. If you don't use it, we bill you. They've been billed 6 billion shillings on the year. This is just from 2023, 2024. 6 billion shillings is what it's not me, the Auditor General. Remember, this is coming from the Auditor General's report. 6 billion shillings on this 304 billion as it continues to sit there. Build Kenya. Put it into the basket. Should I continue?
Continue.
Okay. The Hustler Fund. Somebody said their heart is doing gidim. 20.96 billion shillings was allocated to the Hustler Fund in 2022-2023. Only 12 billion shillings was traced. Unaccounted for is 8 billion shillings, not yet drawn. Yani, it's not there.
8 billion.
Yeah. So what they said, the government now said to the Auditor General, okay, we understand what you're saying. You can't really see it, but the money is there, but it's just been undrawn. So that's why we don't have receipts for it. Clear as mud. But she said, okay, she noted in the report, fine, they have said it's undrawn. So the 8 billion is somewhere. But for the purposes of this, we're going to put this 8 billion shillings in our basket. I don't know if you're keeping notes, but we're doing some good money here, all right?
Somewhere.
We're getting somewhere with this cash. So they said that, no, it's undrawn money. It's still available from the 20 billion. I don't know if you had said 20 billion is allocated to Hustler Fund. Only 12 billion has been spent. We cannot find 8 billion. It should be somewhere. This story of undrawn doesn't make sense to nobody, but okay. Let's go to the counties. Now, unsupported transfers, county. She had issue with the counties. She said, some money went to vocational training centers. Some 9 million shillings went to them. But this is again an issue of we cannot receipt for that money. Now, 9 million against these billions might seem like it's not a lot of money, but they're not the only ones. When we take counties' money, 9 million going and there's no receipts, you send to Okari Vocational Training Center somewhere in Kabiang.
This is the Situation Room. The only way to start your day. Only way to start your day.
For example, 214 million shillings on domestic travel without documentation. At the very least, my God, there should be a ticket, an air ticket. But I just want to know, travel within Kenya, 214 million shillings. This is the one that doesn't have receipts. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
So it's not even all the travel that was done. 214 million shillings in Homa Bay, receiptless money. We doesn't have receipt, but somebody traveled because the money has been spent.
They traveled.
But where did there's even no air ticket, even taxi ticket. You know how when
Even
you take
fuel.
Uber, they send you a message in the email that you traveled, you spent 300 bob. Is that one?
Nada.
I don't have
Okay.
that one. Sorry, it's not found. Then the foreign travel that took place, 5.3 million shillings on foreign travel, is lacking documentation. Surely, if you went to New York, there would be a ticket, Abi. Or if you went to Dubai, there would be a ticket. If you slept in a hotel somewhere, there would be some kind of hotel receipt.
There would be some visa fees as well.
So they said maybe the guy said maybe it was in my suitcase. Then I came home, my wife washed the jacket, so there I couldn't find it. Sour.
My luggage disappeared.
The dog ate my homework. You can email the hotel. See, I slept in Sunshine Boulevard Hotel on the 13th of August. I can email the guys. My name is one Mr. Seto. I slept in your hotel. Kindly, please, for the purposes of my documentation, are you then able to email me my receipt? Such things happen, do they not?
They do.
Auditor General said, okay, it's not available. Please. Don't be stressed. Wait. This is just this year. I've not gone to 2020. This is just 2022, 2023. I've not gone to 2023, 24. And I'm already seeing Okari's face like he wants to cry. So let me do universities and then you can tell me. I'll tell you how much now is in this basket of money.
Okay.
Unexplained spending and weak controls amounting to 14 billion shillings at the universities. Masai Mara University, 3 billion. Moi University, 1.6 billion. Technical University of Kenya, 1 billion. Kabianga is there, 877 million. Kenyatta University, 835 million. Missing 4.1. Okay, sorry, that's another place. We're still in universities. So they said this money that was sent to them to then be able to do certain things. We don't know what the money was used for, but it was sent to them. Whether it was to make sure that lecturers are paid, whether it was to make sure that infrastructure is established. Akuna, there's nothing. We don't have documentation. Remember, she's flagging where you don't have documentation to explain what this money was used for. She said, okay, fine, we move. Now, let me give you the last one. No, two more. Counties. This is not all, but 125 constituencies. How many constituencies are there in Kenya? Let's say 290. So almost half of the number of constituencies failed to show records in one. Let me even go. This is 1 month. 1 month, 30 days. 4.1 billion shillings of NGCDF money unaccounted for in 125 counties in 1 month.
4.1 billion.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop there because I don't even want to go to departments and organizations like NSSF. Okay.
Please,
so
spare us the torture.
When you put all this money together, these ones that I've told you, 44 billion, 55 billion, 6 billion, 7 billion, whatever, you get 243 billion shillings. That is unaccounted for. Don't have receipts, don't have. It's very easy that when you do 1 + 1 is equals, at the other side of this equals to is theft, is mismanagement, is unaccountability. What did you call that big word? Misappropriation equals to misappropriation. So then what do we see? Do you know what? According to the same government, if you wanted to pipe water in Kenya, if you wanted to make sure that every household had clean drinking water, the way the president promised us for Kitui in it's called Mashujaa Day, do you know how much you need? 241 billion shillings. And I rest my case there.
Asad has been doing the tabulation. Tumefika pesa ngapi?
You know the tabulation based off what she just said. was 138B 311.3.
I didn't add this
because she didn't add the rest. Where?
So,
And every time before Gathungu's ink dries, there's another one. There's another unsupported expenditure. There's another report on misappropriated funds or unreconciled accounts. In some of the cases, receipts are missing, but the people traveled. But there is no air ticket. There is no place where they were logged in. Their passport doesn't show a stamp or anything that they left the country, but money was spent.
yeah.
You know, what this is exposing a very big wound in our country. And there's bleeding going on. And it's not like we lack revenue. What essentially you're telling me, we're very rich.
Yes.
We have a lot of money.
Yes.
This country is very wealthy. But because of this systemic leakages, and I'm using leakages, it's actually a polite word. There's a worse one, which is disguised like this is governance. It's the reason why people went to the streets last year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the reason why Tanzania is doing what it's doing. It's young people going out and saying, look, we want a better future, we want a better life. We can't just have this going on. No.
You tell me today.
And these are people, and this is you and me and everybody paying tax. Even the unborn are already going to be paying taxes.
Yes. On Friday, I went towards Kenyatta National Hospital, and then I passed. It was so interesting to me. I passed. They're called what? Kenya Roads Board office is somewhere in that Upper Hill area. The road leading to the Kenya Roads Board office has a big sign and says, "This road was constructed with your fuel levy." And I was like, wow, this road leading to our office. I was like, okay, this is fantastic. This is great.
Yeah.
But what about the roads where today, you see the way it's raining, people's cabbages are growing in 1 month. It's normal, it takes them to 6 weeks then for them to be able to harvest. There are people's cabbages that are rotting on the road because they cannot take it from farm to market. They cannot walk. Their thing is rotting. It's rotting. And then you want to tell me that this money that is unaccounted for because somebody traveled 214 million shillings in Kenya. How much is an air ticket for? How much is an air ticket in Kenya?
Where?
Okay, let's say you're going from Nairobi. You're going to, where is the farthest place? And then you're coming back. Will you spend more than 100,000?
No.
Okay. Then you want some roads cannot be. Okay, fine, even put Maram. Don't put tarmac. Just Maram the road even. Okay, let's look. We are talking about live examples. Remember, this is not me making this up.
Yeah.
I just extracted it from the Auditor General's report.
A small extraction.
A small one. Because this is 8 months of one financial year. This is not the entire year.
And that's which year again?
This is 2022, 2023.
We've not even started 2023, 2024.
No, the only thing I gave you here, which I did not put into the total, is this money that MCAs have spent 4.1 billion shillings from NGCDF in 125 constituencies, and they have not been able to show the records. That's the only one I've given you from August 2025. I'm not giving you anything else from 2024, 2025. Okay. You want to tell me that money has been spent unaccounted for over and over and over and over again. Billions of shillings have gone into universities. Billions of shillings have gone into healthcare. Billions of shillings. Homa Bay cannot tell us where this 5.3 million shillings went. This is after they've traveled, they've receipted. This is the one that they cannot receipt for. Do you understand? Before we even start to ask that, what is the result of you having gone to London? What did you come back with?
Benchmarking.
For benchmarking, what did you come back with? We've not even done that one. We are just saying you went and came back. Where is the money that you said you spent? If you didn't spend, does it not also happen that if they give you $50 to travel, you spent 25, you return the $25 plus the receipt? Koba Hakaba. Okay, I'm even speaking Hausa. Is that not how it's supposed to be?
It is.
Yes, but apparently it doesn't happen in the counties because she did an entire county report. It took me forever to read through the thing. She did an entire county report, and the things that guess what? The things that she's not satisfied with is this documentation story. And you know what? Let me tell you the sad truth, that today, nobody is going to give that documentation. Nobody is going to explain where that money went. If that money has gone unaccounted for, explained, misappropriated, mismanaged, it's done. It's gone.
Let me tell you where the problem is. Because every year, for as long as I've been a journalist, we've covered these misappropriations. And the Auditor General, in this case, she's a hero. She needs to be celebrated. That's one office that needs to be put up there. But yet, with all these things going on, nothing happens. Reports will gather dust. Parliament will debate. They will forget about it. Some of the individuals mentioned, officers or even managers, again, will get reappointed, get promotions, and life will move on. The thing is, the real crisis, in my opinion, with all these reports, because every time I read them, I get so depressed about the figures. Because today, we talk about $1 billion. We don't actually imagine what $1 billion looks like. Let me tell you, if you put $1 billion, if you put $1 billion in 1,000, is it 100 or 1,000 notes?
Shilling notes.
Yeah.
Work up a Mombasa Road.
Yeah.
You will start your journey and cover the entire Mombasa Road up until you get to coast.
1,000.
How many hours? Yes,
pallet
1,000 bob.
tasks.
How many hours to get to Mombasa? Is it 5 hours to get to Mombasa? 5 hours unakanyaga pesa. Unakanyaga pesa mpaka unafika Mombasa. That's how you'll end up clearing just $1 billion. And the crisis for me here is, it's not the money that has actually gone missing.
No.
That's not the real crisis for me. The crisis here is we are missing consequences. No one is jailed.
Nope.
No one is, I dare say, bring back the death penalty.
Nobody will
Nobody
be
is arrested,
named,
nobody is
prosecuted.
jailed. Exactly.
Nothing.
These same people who steal this same money are the same ones who are going to run around the campaigns. Giving people money, nichagueni, nitawatumikia, nitawaunganisha, nitafanya. These same fellows are the ones who are doing these things. And so the ripple effect, unfortunately for you and me, Asetondo and I, we are sitting here. You're waking up in the morning. You leave here, you want to buy lunch. You want to get unga, sugar for your kids, for this, for that. The ripple effect of all these things that you've just read, you know what it is? This money has disappeared. We know it has not disappeared. It's gone into people's accounts, into people's
They've
pockets.
taken it.
But the ripple effect is that taxes then must rise to fill that gap. So each time we keep talking about taxes going up, taxes are not going up because of anything else. It's because we need money to do, well, they even say there's budgeted corruption after all. So you'll have to increase taxes because you have to meet that shortfall. You have to close that gap. And the gap is artificial.
There's no
It
gap.
is because, there's no gap, it's artificial. It's because people have decided to pocket all these billions. I was told yesterday that there's we've been talking about wash. This one I've not verified, but I was told there's somebody who's bringing in luxury cars, my friend. Those cars you see in magazine covers. They are in Kenya. Somebody will bring a car worth 120 million.
Yeah.
60 million, 50 million. Kwa hiyo yard, hakuna gari ya less than 20 million. It's 20 million and above. All these are vehicles sitting somewhere in a yard for people to buy.
We've talked about 240-something billion shillings, but just what exactly is 241 billion shillings? So we talk about the extension of SGR from Kisumu from Naivasha to Kisumu. That would cost you 380 billion. So if you take 240 billion shillings, that means you have around 100 billion shillings as a deficit. But you're almost done with that SGR. We're talking about 138 billion shillings in healthcare. That means you would fund healthcare fully and still have extra money to help Kenyans. We're talking about 702.7 billion shillings in education. If you just take 241 billion shillings and put it in education, say you give that to tertiary education that is going through problems, haven't you sorted out the problem in education? But here we're talking about 241 billion shillings that is lost in people's pockets, yet all these other things are pending.
You know what? That we don't come to terms with the reality of the situation. And that's why we do things like this, so that you can understand exactly what is happening. This money is not being burnt in some underground dungeon in a ministry or under treasury or somewhere in the central bank. It's not being tied to a dove and then flying into the skies. This money is being taken. It's being taken. When we talk about money being misappropriated or mismanaged, it's a fancy way of saying it has been taken. Because if you flew from Nairobi to Kisumu and you stayed in a hotel and you ate meals for 3 days and then you flew back to Nairobi and I gave you 50,000 shillings and on top of that I supposedly paid your fare. So I have the receipts for your plane ticket, don't I? But these other things that you did, you stayed in a place, you did all of this, you will have the receipts. You don't even have to have the paper receipts. These things are digital nowadays, right? If you actually did those things, we're not even asking you for M&E for the work that you did. They're saying to account for the money that you spent. Now, this is one person on a 50,000 shilling trip. This is just keeping it at the bare minimum, right? So you tell me how many of them there are across the country every day, not even every month, every single day, and then you do the math. If it doesn't give you a head spin, let me tell you what will. That somewhere just across the pond, there are children who've been mashed like sardines in a classroom, so much so that their teacher cannot stand in the classroom to teach them. The teacher stands at the window and teaches. True, false? Okay. That somebody cannot afford to pay medical care for themselves, talk less of family members, because they don't have 600 shillings times 12 in a year. The same country, this is happening. We talk about infrastructure for school. Mr. Ogamba the other day sent 4,000 shillings times, capitation of 4,000 bob for the third term to everybody and said we finished. So I was left wondering, excuse me, so what about the balance from term 1? And what about the balance from term 2? Nobody, even the mouse in a church in the corner is louder.
There was no budget for the exams.
My
what are you talking
dear,
about?
I'm just talking about third term capitation. Yeah. I've not even gone to exam. This exam that's being sat today, where invigilators said, you know what, excuse me, no money in my M-Pesa, no invigilation of the exam. Do you understand? That's where we were. There was no budget for it. So Ogamba went to Parliament and said, if you guys don't give me money, I cannot actually do this. As though it is when the mother who is pregnant starts to push the baby, then you realize that there's a baby coming. That is what we are talking about. So juxtapose that against a situation whereby people are robbing the country blind on one hand, and children have food being taken out of their mouth on the other hand. So, and then you want to tell me that first world is just looking at us. You know how you can say, I see you. First world is just looking at us down the corner and we say, yeah, we're going to get there. This is the same place where the president, in his good stead, said a couple of months, about last year, he said, you know what, we are looking to mop up 300 billion shillings. That was the number that he gave. We're looking to mop up 300 billion shillings in the economy, and that will help us 1, 2, 3. Well, let me tell you, Mr. President, that money is in Homa Bay because there's some folks who traveled within the country, mind you, and they spent 214 million shillings on domestic. That money is in NGCDF, where 4.1 billion shillings was spent in 125 constituencies, and they can't tell you what it was spent on. That money is in the universities, 14 billion shillings, whereby they told you that money was sent to these universities, but they cannot tell us what it was for. Mr. President, that money is just here, but they don't want to tell you that it is there. That money is in your hustler fund, where 8 billion shillings, they told you that out of the 20 billion, they don't know where it went. Mr. President, that money is in e-citizen, where there's 44 billion shillings that's unaccounted for, no receipts. You see that 300 billion shillings that you're looking for every month?
It's here.
It's here, Mama.
Baba. Yeah.
At this rate.
And Mr. President is allocating 1 billion to finish Kakamega Hospital.
Yeah.
The hospital stalled. Look, you know, we are a joke. There's money. You know these pronouncements. You know, I sit and wonder, so where is this money really coming from? So, President Ruto says, okay, you know, look, we're going to take over the construction and completion of this hospital. Okay, so his trip to Western.
To Western, yeah.
He said the 12 billion facility will be upgraded 12 billion has already been spent. This project is stalled. So there's going to be 1 billion then to try and see how they can complete it to elevate its status, obviously. So there is money when there are certain projects that need to be done and in certain regions, and then there is no money for children who are going to children who are sitting for exams. You didn't think through budgeting for, so these exams you need to pay invigilators, you need to pay drivers, you need to pay security, you need to pay for this, so we can't. Then all of a sudden we don't have money. We are looking for money. Guys, let me tell you, it's just plain and simple. We need to stop normalizing theft by using these big words. Hii ni wizi. Mwizi ni mwizi.
Yeah.
There's nothing, money disappeared, money was misappropriated. And you know, this bleeding will not stop. We'll keep reading these reports. This bleeding will not stop until every Kenyan feels the pain of losing just that 1 shilling. You know how if you lose 1,000 shilling in your house, you look for it, chini ya sofa set, kitty, carpet. You're looking for your own?
2 weeks ago, I'm looking and I must find it.
Are you feeling the pain?
I'm feeling it because I'm like, how can money just disappear under me like this?
You are going to your pockets, jeans. What did I wear last week? Which handbag did I carry? You see that pain as you are searching until you start feeling the pain of every missing shilling. I'm telling you guys, until we squarely demand.
You know, we're talking about the president allocating 1 billion shillings to Kakamega Hospital. Question is, was it planned for? Was it budgeted for?
Where is it coming from?
Was money spent, that 12 billion shillings, was it spent? Why isn't that hospital complete? Why did it stall? All the monies that were allocated to it and spent, was it spent well?
Meanwhile,
that is where you start from.
The person who was overseeing the construction of that hospital is now your CS for MSMEs.
You know. So these are questions. So before allocating 1 billion shillings, we need to ask the tough questions. Why did this project stall? And even when the president is coming in to rescue the project and allocate 1 billion shillings, under what budget? Did you budget for this money? Where are you getting 1 billion shillings to just give to Kakamega Hospital if it was not budgeted for?
Do you know my problem with this particular project? That there was a Senate Accounts Committee that went to Kakamega just a couple of weeks ago. Catherine Muma was there, Boni Khalwale, Senator Richard Onyonka was there, as well as the head of that committee. They were all there in Kakamega. They went round, they saw things, they said, Lakini money has been spent. We have the paperwork here. And then people in the CECs for Kakamega County were also there unable to explain anything about funds that had been spent. Money has been spent on Kakamega Hospital. Money has been spent for this level 6 hospital to be completed. You guys, there's glass in the windows. You tell me, when is glass put in a construction? When it's about to be completed? They finished. This thing was supposed to be done. Look inside and you can see vandalism. Is it vandalism or rundown of the thing? Money had been spent. So the Senate Accounts Committee goes to Kakamega and they said heads will roll until Boni Khalwale almost burst an artery because he was so upset. I said, okay, very good. Perhaps something is going to come out of this as a result, isn't it?
Only.
This is yet to show up in the Auditor General's account, but it is coming. So you now say, okay, heads will roll here. He even pointed at one of the CEC's finance and he said, something we are going to do, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then the overwhelming answer that you get to this, where hundreds of billions of shillings have been used to construct a hospital that is not yet complete, the answer that you give to that, rather than demand for accountability, is to throw 1 billion shillings at it. Where are we going? What are we doing? And you want to ask the question, so why are we making noise? Your children, your young ones are coming up to operate and live in this society where this wanton waste and theft is taking place. If that doesn't move something in you, there's a problem. Oh, why are you making noise? The money has already gone. See, I said it. Okay. It is not today that you will cry. It's coming. It is coming. So, what is Senate there for? If an oversight job cannot produce the people who spent the money or misused or misappropriated the money, but then we say, okay, so now the former governor is now a CS. Sindio, okay, his intent was to finish this hospital, but since he was not able, watching him pay 1 billion, Maliza by this time next year. Are you kidding me? No questions asked? Nobody to be accountable? Nobody to ask? Nobody to even say, this thing must be prosecuted? And you want to go to first world? Okay, so be going.
Let me just give you a simple money trail to this. Because the president in Kakamega said, I have told my brother, Governor Fernandez Baraza, that because this is a major facility, he should allow me to complete it so that the people of the Kakamega can have access to a level 6 hospital. And this should be done within the next 10 months. Now, ESCC, when they were looking at the construction of the proposed Kakamega Teaching and Referral Hospital, with a contract value of 6 billion, the procurement was via open tender, but only one bid was submitted and won. By May 2021, 2 billion had already been paid, yet the project stalled. And key documents, which is approved acquisition, BOQs, engineers' estimate progress reports, were missing from their file. HICO. So even if you want to understand, so this structure, how did it even come up? So from the foundation, how many beams, how many columns, how many pillars, what exactly did you do? You're lacking all this. Now, when you look at all these things, guys, it's just very, very clear. If you are the head of your own home, head doesn't mean male or female. You are the head. You walk into your compound and you say, Mimi staki kuona dustbin hapa. I don't like the way this carpet has been put. I need this table cleared. This is how I want the house to be in order. You go to the washroom. I need the tissue paper should be this way. I need this detergent to be that way. You go upstairs. You do whatever it is that you're doing. As the head of that home, you have actually set the standards.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter who comes to work for you. Your standards, your level of cleanliness, this is what you want. This is the time I want my meals cooked. This is how I want them cooked. This is the time I want kids to be bathed. This is what... It starts from the head. But if from the head there is a problem, there will be a dustbin there. Tissue paper will be on the dining table. People will be cooking
in the
breakfast at 2 in the afternoon. And that's the sort of confusion we find ourselves in.
Every other day, Kenyans want a country that works for them. We want to get to first world country. We want to enjoy the good things, But how are we getting there? We start getting there by sealing all the loopholes and jail those who pilferage country funds. Whether we like it or not, we keep talking about Singapore. What did they do? We're talking about China. What has China done? We talk about South Korea. What did they do? Until that point when, as a country, as a leadership, we take the tough decision, like what happened in Ghana, Jerry Rawlings. Let's parade them. Let's finish them. That's the only way, Okari. That's the only way.
It's the only way.
It's the only way. I'm sorry, but it's the only way.
If I was running for president of this country, I'm not. But if I was, let me tell you, I'll build a special jail. You know what they did with the cartels in Mexico? You build a jail, Kwamlima, where kids, when they're passing, they'll be told, you see that building? Iwe funzo. Everybody should know. Take all these corrupt individuals, lock them up in one jail. You can't bleed the future of this country like this. People are honestly suffering. Yesterday, there are women who people are going with SHA uniforms saying, I can register you into SHA. Because of the desperation of these elderly people, they already know SHA is not working. And you know what conmen and conwomen are doing? They're going to the villages, they are saying, because this process is too complicated, we will help register you. So, unaitwa nani, ID number, ulizaliwa, they register now, you need to pay 14,000. Old people are giving 14,000 from their farm produce, the money they have saved. Kidogo like this, the money has disappeared. Kidogo like this, the M-Pesa money is being cleared. They can't even have access to their phone numbers anymore. Because you've opened the space up for people to go. Can you imagine that level of creativity? So people know, because SHA is not working, so go to those two villages.
Who don't
because
know?
Those wazee wanajua. So come up with a way, wear a uniform. And this old lady was saying, aliona moja amevaa ilikuwa ya blue imeandikwa hapa SHA. And they easily trust. They're so gullible. They don't know. These people coming in vehicles they look like serious ministry officials. They are taking them through the registration. People are giving. You know, when an elderly woman is crying because of 14,000,
My
you
friend,
think it's a joke. You are even conning the elderly who are about to die. You're conning them. You're bleeding the unborn. They're already carrying the burden of taxes.
Dennis,
This
we
is
are
a joke.
conned every day. I'm not surprised that we're seeing things happen every day. I mean, we are being conned every day, and one would say, when you see a leader weighing thousands and thousands of shillings, what message are they sending you? Because the first question you ask yourself is, where did you get that kind of money? How do you walk around with such kind of money? Because we know how money is also being guarded and protected in the country. So when we see you weigh such kind of amounts from a leadership perspective,
do you know what
do you expect?
Do you know what you're being told? When you see such a thing happening? When there's somebody whose 14,000 shillings has been taken and she's thinking, how am I going to survive for the rest of my life? The rest of my life. Because 14,000 shillings has been taken. And then you see a video of somebody weighing money to see, let's balance. Let's see how much can actually
flex.
put it on this scale. You see somebody doing that. And then you want to wake up tomorrow and you want to tell me that the leader, the one who is coming to ask that that woman in the village with the 14,000 for her vote tomorrow, really cares? Really gives a damn about that woman? You want to tell me that that's what's really happening? You want to tell me that it's possible for people to ignore the situation in the country? So, whether it is Kenya today with these numbers that we're seeing, whether it's people who are being shot in the streets in Tanzania, whether it's people in Nigeria who will not be able to walk into a medical facility on the public and be able to get services, whether it is money from resources that are being looted by the Nigerian government every single day, whether it is people in Cameroon who have a geriatric president who cannot get up from his bed and is still wondering when he won the election, and there are people who are complaining and it's still okay, whether it's people who have known war all their life living just here in Sudan. It is the same thread that's running through the fabric of a continent on who the world is placing a responsibility of survival on their shoulders. And we still can't seem to get it right. Something is wrong with us. And until we deal with that thing, these aspirations of first world, these aspirations of global dominance, it is a pipe dream. If we are not upset about it, whether I'm a journalist sitting in this chair today, whether it's a businessman sitting and doing their runs tomorrow, if we are not upset about it to the point whereby you want to talk about it or do something about it by your vote, let them continue. Let them continue. Let them continue killing people. Let them continue robbing children. Let them continue eating money. Let them continue. If you don't want to do something about it by raising your voice, by standing up today to go and register to vote, by saying that enough is enough, if you are not ready to do that, then by all means, let them continue. This money that we're talking about, why should you not today, 70, almost 60 something years after independence, not be able to open a tap and get water? Why should people be going to fetch water in a place and the water is the color of that wall, but you still say I have to drink it because I have nothing else? Let them continue. If people will not be able to raise their voices in discourse, if people will not be able to raise their voices to go and register to vote, by all means, let them continue. Let them continue. Whether it's here, whether it's down south, whether it's up north, everybody's rising. Everybody's starting to rumble because it cannot continue like this. Your aspirations pale in comparison to your misappropriation. Pale. You can't tell me you're trying to run a marathon and then you're wearing 6-inch heels. Where are you going? What are you doing? You're robbing your people blind. You're killing your people in the street. Your people are being massacred every day. That's the reality that we are dealing with, and we say that we want to progress. Nah.
Accountability needs to stop being seasonal.
Nah.
We can't just have a season where we are so serious talking about accountability, then we forget. There needs to be a relentless, persistent pursuit to get to the bottom of all these things. And you know what counts? It's the vote that will count.
Yeah.
There's politicians know that we have a very short memory. So we'll lament today, mtapiga kelele leo, kesho mtasahau. There is that argument that they will protest today, tomorrow, then they will forget. There's a country where one day young people woke up and they decided, you know what? We will raid your neighborhoods. Those places where you have barbed wire electric fences with gates and armed police officers guarding you. Those two places where you go for shopping. Those places where your kids go. People decided, you know what? we're going to come for everything. We are going to come for you. And we don't want to get to that point. But when you push people to a corner where an old grandmother who has lost 14,000 all her money is crying, there is a God in heaven who watches, who listens. The curses that will befall the children of these people who have done these kind of things. You think you do it for clicks, think you're doing it for whatever comments, to agitate, whatever it is that you want to do. You think you're just doing it, but there is kuna kiboko itakuja, like Mackenzie said, kitawaramba.
Kitawaramba. And I think this entire conversation is not just the leadership, but us as a citizen as well, to think critically on who we give the mantle to lead the affairs of the country. It starts and ends with the vote and the kind of people we put in office to run the affairs of the country. Because if we keep on getting it wrong, then we will never get it right.
Yeah. These clowns who are weighing money and walking around with Rolex watches, I call them clowns because that's what they are.
They are clowns.
These clowns.
One day the circus will end, and it's not too far from now. Good morning, 8 a.m.
Spice up your life.
It is now 8 a.m. with Icy.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.